So, are you a doubting Thomas? Hi, and welcome to Faith in Front. Today we're going to be talking about the subject of doubt. How do we deal with doubt? How do we process it when we may experience it? Now, there might be some of you out there that's like, well, how can you doubt God? Well, hey, if you don't struggle with doubt, maybe this is not the video for you, but I've worked in youth ministry for many years, and I know that a lot of young people, especially young people raised in the church, sometimes they have questions. Sometimes they have doubts because questions aren't being answered. They're just being told, oh, you just need to trust the Lord, baby. And sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes we adults need to be equipped enough to answer some of these questions that could be attributing to the doubt, of a young person, or the doubt of someone that's maybe skeptical, who's outside the Christian faith, kind of looking in. Okay, coming up, people would use the term, you don't want to be a doubting Thomas. You don't want to be a doubting Thomas. And it was this negative label applied to you if you were dealing with doubt for whatever reason. But what I find interesting is that Thomas, the one that's being used for this negative label, okay, you may have heard this story, Jesus is risen. The other disciples, they're like, oh, they're excited. They're like, Jesus is risen, he's risen, he's risen, and Thomas is like, slow down. Wait a minute, slow down. Okay, we just saw this man hung on a cross. We saw him whipped horribly. We saw him beat unrecognizably. And you guys are coming here talking about he's risen. You expected me to do the happy dance. And he's like, wait a minute. I need some more information. So what does Jesus do? When Jesus is before Thomas, he just shows him. He doesn't pounce on his head. Oh, how dare you, Thomas? How could you have doubted? He didn't do that. He just says, here's the information. Here are the wounds. Check it out, Thomas. Okay? And then we know that Thomas is my Lord and my God. So Thomas is an illustration of the first form of doubt, which is called factual doubt. Sometimes people just want a little bit more information. They're like, hey, can you give me some more facts? I'm trying to, work through this. And that's all Thomas wanted. Thomas like, hey, I just need a little bit more information. Okay, he was just going through factual doubt. Now, the second type of doubt is emotional doubt. And this one is tough because it usually involves pain. When we go through something, when we go through trials and tribulations and things that bring us heartache, there's this temptation to say, okay, God. And since God didn't intervene, then we can move towards, we started doubting God. And we see this even illustrated with John the Baptist. Now, John the Baptist, he was the forerunner. John the Baptist was the one that was going around telling everyone, hey, Jesus is coming. Hey, look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, right? He baptizes Jesus, right? But then when he goes and he's locked up and he's under emotional distress, he sends word to Jesus. He sends a servant, someone to say, hey, you tell Jesus I said, hey, are you the man or shall we look for another? Now, how does John the Baptist go from, look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, to, are you the man or shall we look for another? It was the emotional distress that he was under. John knew he was in trouble, and we know that he was beheaded, and he may have gotten word that was coming when he sent word to Jesus to say, hey, are you the man or should we look for another? Even Jesus himself. Now, Jesus is God in the flesh, but we see these times where Jesus expresses himself from his human nature. Even in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he's saying, Lord, if there be another way, take this from me. But on the cross, he says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? You go, wait a minute, Jesus, you're God in the flesh, okay? But under that emotional distress, that came out of him. And when we're going through something emotional because of grief, something tragic, yes, there is this temptation to doubt God. My encouragement to you is take that to God. Don't run away from God. And we're going to be talking about in the future, the existence of God and evil and why God permits evil. And we could go down that road on this, but I'm trying to really stay on topic as we're just talking about doubt and how to process, that. And we're looking at the different types of doubt so that you can, if you're dealing with it, you can get on the road of processing it by saying, oh, maybe this is factual doubt. No, this is emotional doubt. And yes, sometimes they even overlap. They do. And then the third form of doubt is volitional. And we see this expressed through the Pharisees. Pharisees, they saw Jesus do all kinds of miracles. I mean, they saw him do a lot. But they would still attribute it to something else. Oh, well, he's demon-possessed himself. Or their doubt of Jesus, it was volitional. It was just an act of the will because Jesus was messing up their program. I mean, the Pharisees, they were it. Jesus comes along and they don't like it, okay, because he's messing up things, right? And so you don't want to fall into just being doubtful of God because it works for you, because sometimes that can happen. I think about the atheist Thomas, it's either Nigel or Nigel. He was up front. He just said, I just don't want God to be it. I just don't want there to be a God because he wants to do life the way he wants to do it. And some people know that if God really exists, they know that they have to submit their lives to him, and they don't want that. They want to keep their autonomy. They don't want to submit. They want to do life the way they want to do it. So, of course, for some, God doesn't work. Because if he's real, that means I have to submit to him. At one time, one of my sons, they expressed to us that they were kind of dealing with doubt. And I'm thankful that my son was able to come to me and share that he was kind of dealing with this. Now, he's out of that season now, but I'm thankful that he felt that he could come and share that with us. And we were able to give him some resources to help him, while he was, in that season. So my word of encouragement to you is if you're dealing with doubt, own it, okay? And don't allow someone to make you feel bad because you are dealing with it. My encouragement to you is doubt towards God, not away from God. See you next time.